Welcome back, guys, to another video. We got some pretty big things today, including how South Korea Sovereign Wealth Fund just purchased a bunch of Tesla stock, even though Tesla stock right now is at a pretty expensive price tag. I think a lot of people really seem to like Tesla. They like the things that they're doing, especially how Tesla is focusing very heavily on clean energy. And towards the end of the video, or maybe the middle of the video, we will be talking about Tesla's mega pack battery farm in Moss Landing. This is something pretty big, and I think people are just simply overlooking the fact that Tesla is more than just a car manufacturer. I think Tesla trying to focus themselves on battery farms is not only super profitable, but also it's really beneficial to the climate and also to the individuals that are ordering these battery farms. They're pretty self-sufficient and they give you a lot of energy, and it's pretty nice. You save a ton of money in the long term. But right now, you do have South Korea Sovereign Wealth Fund. These guys have roughly $168 billion, and they invest in some pretty crazy stuff. And one of them is they just bought stocks in NIO and Tesla and also Intel, and also sold a few other stocks out there. The fund disclosed its trades along with several others in a file with the SEC, and Tesla was the biggest one. They bought a lot of shares of this company, even though Tesla is already at a pretty premium price. If you ask me, Tesla right now is hovering at $781 at the time of this recording on February 22nd. And $781 is not cheap, but then again though, it has already dropped down from $900. So that could be a pretty good steal. Honestly, if you want to consider buying some Tesla stock, now could be the chance, especially how you do have Cathie Wood and also ARK Invest purchasing into this stock. Now, there's several reasons why they are purchasing so much Tesla stock at a massive premium here. It's because Tesla is working on some projects that other companies are not. In the next 5 years, every single company will be making electric cars. If Tesla just simply makes electric cars, there's nothing special about them. But because Tesla is now moving away from focusing on car production to other projects that other companies are not doing, it makes them stand out. When you have several car manufacturers making the same item, which is the electric car, and that's what you're doing as well, that would not make you special. But if you're doing something else, something that's super unique and very innovative, for example, Tesla is working on a Robo taxi network, meaning that you could buy a Tesla and rent it out on the Robo taxi network. It'll drive fully autonomously by itself and pick up passengers, just like an Uber or Lyft. But you are at work, you are at home, you are not in the car. And Musk has said that he could make up to $30,000 a year from this, which is a lot of money. And some estimates that are pretty conservative place it at $10,000 to $20,000 if you're willing to do this several days in a week. So you could not only make money with your car, but you could also save a lot of money from gas stuff and maintenance stuff with the Tesla Model 3, for example. That's one of the biggest projects that's going on with Tesla, and that's a project that no other company is pursuing. Another big project that Tesla is going for includes different types of battery farms, battery techniques, and also massive battery production. If you guys don't know, the Berlin Gigafactory, once it's fully operational, it will be having the world's biggest battery factory. And a lot of these batteries will be the 4680 battery cell, and these battery cells are pretty incredible. They're super dense, they're filled with a lot of nickel, and you also have the Nevada Gigafactory, which also will be cranking out 4680 battery cells as well. So you have two massive plants that simply just make batteries, and you also have a upcoming gigafactory under rumors in Indonesia because they want to be securing Indonesia's massive nickel deposit, and that nickel will be used to the 4680 battery cells and making it a lot denser. That's something pretty big, and that's something that you don't really see often with other car companies. Ford's current CEO was asked about, hey, are you guys going to be making any sort of a battery factory? And Ford says that he acknowledges Tesla's wave of battery factories is very smart, but he has no plans to make a battery factory. Most car companies right now are not really researching batteries. A lot of the battery research is done by third-party battery companies like QuantumScape, other individual battery companies. The car companies are mostly focused on the car production of itself. They don't really have the time, money, or personnel to have a whole new battery department. And Tesla spent years on a battery department. This is why they got so good at it. And by the way, a lot of those car companies, their mileage is pretty lousy. Like 250 miles per charge on the Porsche Taycan isn't super great compared to Tesla's Model S of 400 miles and sometimes in the future, probably 800 miles per charge with a 4680 battery cell. And also, companies aren't really focusing on autopilot, robo-taxis, or batteries, so that is something very scary to think about. Now, obviously, everyone is going to be making electric vehicles in the next 5 years, but almost nobody will be focusing on battery production, battery research, or the fully autonomous robo-taxis, whereas Tesla has already perfected these things. Now, once in the next 5 to 7 years, when all the other companies have their own battery factories, their own robo-taxi networks, then Tesla will definitely transition to a whole different industry and make money from there. Now, the big thing about Tesla and the reason why so many people are dumping their money in isn't because they make electric vehicles, it's because they're always 2 steps ahead of their competition. Just like how they're 2 steps ahead with electric vehicles. Now, everyone's making electric vehicles. They have a lot of autopilot technique, robo-taxis, batteries. That is like 2 to 3 steps ahead of their competition. Their competition aren't even focusing on those aspects. Just like a few years ago, the competition wasn't focusing on electric vehicles, but now they are. They're not focusing on the autopilot or batteries. So you kind of get the idea that Tesla is super ahead. As long as they keep up this momentum, they're fine. Last but not least is the Tesla Megapack battery farm in Moss Landing. This is pretty big because we've been seeing battery farms pop up in South Australia because the Australian government was always plagued by power outages, blackouts. So why not just have a battery farm? Saves like $60 million a year. It's a lot of money. And by the way, this Moss Landing battery pack is meeting its early 2021 completion date and should be having a full deployment in Q2 of 2021, which is around the summertime. So far, the battery farm in Moss Landing is a pretty big deal, and it will comprise 256 grid-scale battery units, particularly which have already been set up and they're already in their designated locations. There's already several concrete slabs, and it's looking pretty good. This energy can be used as demand picks up, especially during times when wind, solar energy are unavailable, and this battery farm is supposed to provide about $100 million worth of savings to PG&E over the next 20 years. And with the investment not being super expensive, $100 million worth of savings is well worth the price, especially how you could definitely guarantee yourself to not have any power outages or blackouts, which could definitely cost the company a ton of money in the long term. So far, this battery farm, it looks really good, it's fully assembled, and I think this really tells a good story about how Tesla can make a lot of these battery farms, not only for countries, but also for private institutions and companies as well. And so far, all the other car companies are not making these battery farms. Tesla is, and this is a really good thing because now when countries, companies really need something to store energy, they need a battery farm, they'll get Tesla. They'll automatically go there, they'll make it super quick, and that's it. Whereas other companies that claim they make battery farms, they're still in the prototype phase, concept phase, and they don't really have a factory to make these battery farm units yet. So Tesla is way ahead in the scenario, and I really like these battery farms. Really shows people that, hey, it's not just a car company, it's also a massive battery installation company, which also makes a lot of money in the long run. If this battery farm branch, if it ramps up in production, we could be seeing massive chunks of Tesla revenue be just the Megapack battery farms. Thanks for watching, guys, and comment below.